What's up guys, it's Fiek, aka the Cali Coach, back with another video. Now recently I've put out a question on my Instagram stories in which I asked you guys what you wanted to see on the channel, and I received the question to show you guys the best all-around exercises for calisthenics. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video. It's a beautiful day outside, so I'm going to take you guys with me to the local park and hit a workout. So when people hear about calisthenics, they will automatically think about the crazy skills that you see them guys doing on the bar. But what I want you to keep in mind is that also these athletes started with the fundamental exercises, aka the basics. So that's what we're going to discuss in today's video. I'm going to show you the best basic exercises, and once you get a control of that, you can move on to harder exercise progressions. Getting a good understanding of the basic exercises will be very beneficial for you to understand which muscles to engage in each exercise. But no worries, if you're already an advanced athlete, you can still implement the basic exercises, just do less rest time or more reps to keep it challenging enough. Now with that being said, let's get into the first best all-around calisthenics exercise, which is the push-up. So the push-up, this exercise will mostly target your chest and your tricep and also a bit of your delts. Now let me show you how a proper push-up should look like. We're going down in a plank position. We're going to place our hands shoulder width apart. Now from there on, squeeze your glutes and your core once you do this exercise. Now look forward and go all the way down, pointing your elbows outwards. From there on, push yourself back up using your chest. So a good push-up should look like this. Now a common mistake that I'll see people doing is doing not the full range of motion. If you do that, your push-up will look like this. Now I want you to avoid this mistake because you will not be strong in each part of the movement. So make sure you go all the way down and all the way back up. If you're a complete beginner and you're not able to do 4 sets of 10 normal push-ups, then I recommend you to do incline push-ups. For that, you're going to look for a surface that is about this height, but it can also be a little bit higher, and just do the same principle as you would do a normal push-up. Squeeze everything tight, shoulder width apart, looking forward, elbows outwards, all the way down, all the way up. So aim for about 10 to 15 reps of these, do 4 sets of them, and once you can complete that full circle, you'll be able to do normal push-ups in no time. Alright, so let's move on to the second exercise, and that will be a pulling exercise that will mostly engage our back and our bicep muscles. And for that, I'm gonna recommend you to do Australian pull-ups. Now Australian pull-up is a variation of the normal pull-up in which you pull yourself up like this. Now depending on how hard you want to make this exercise, you can increase or decrease the angle. So the ideal situation for you is that you have a bar, like a barbell in the gym, and you can place it higher. That way your angle will be bigger and the exercise will be less challenging and easier for you. Now if you put the barbell lower, for example, if I'm gonna put the rings lower, like this, I'll have more range of motion, as you can see, and the exercise will be more challenging and harder. Okay, so now that you know what the exercise is, let me show you the perfect form. So you're gonna take your rings or the barbell, that depends on what you use. Take a few steps forwards, now go all the way down, lean back. Now with straight arms, you're gonna squeeze your back a little bit, make sure you have scapular retraction, and from there on, pull your chest up towards the bar or the rings. Now once you do that with perfect form, you will notice the tension in your bicep and your back, like this. Also, make sure you control the negative of the movement, like this. Okay. The ideal situation for this exercise is also anywhere from 10 to 15 reps. You can start to decrease the angle so that the exercise will be harder. And once you're able to do 10 to 15 reps, you can move on to normal pull-ups. Now from pulling we go back to pushing, and for that we're going to do dips. Now dips is a pretty advanced exercise, but if you're able to do it, then make sure to implement it because it's really a good exercise also for your triceps and your chest. Now let me show you how a perfect dip should look like. Going on top of the bar with our arms fully locked out. From there on, look forwards, lean a bit forwards also. Now point your elbows outwards, go down with your elbows about 90 degrees in an angle. Now if you do this exercise the right way, you will feel that it puts pressure on your chest and then your triceps. Now if you're a beginner at this exercise and you feel like it's too hard for you, I would recommend you to use any kind of assistance, and for that you can use a resistance band. Now let me show you how you can implement this. We're gonna take a band that's not too thick, like this one, place it over the bars, and from there on you're just gonna do the same principle of doing a regular dip. Place your knees in the band and just go down like you would do a normal dip, and you will notice that the band will help you get back on top. Once you feel comfortable in this exercise with the band, you can try to do some reps without it, and eventually you will work your way up to 10 to 15 reps of normal dips. Alright, so now we covered the chest, the tricep, the back, and the biceps. Now let me show you an exercise that will target the core. And for that, a key fundamental exercise in calisthenics is the L-sit hold. Now for beginners, I would recommend you try this exercise while hanging on the bar. Now why would you do this? Once you do it hanging on the bar, you will also target your forearms and get a better grip strength, which is a very important factor doing calisthenics. Now the perfect way of doing hanging L-sit would look something like this. Take the bar and a pull-up grip with your knuckles pointing upwards. From there on, get your knees up 90 degrees and straighten your legs. You don't want to keep your legs too low or too high, just 90 degrees, and point your toes forward. Now I know this is already a more advanced exercise, so you want to make sure you start off with some progressions. And a good progression for this exercise would be the tuck L-sit hold. Now again, hang on the bar and pull up grip. Make sure you have a solid grip. And from there on, just pull your knees towards your body and keep them in a 90 degrees angle. If you feel comfortable in this position, you can straighten one leg out and eventually all the way with both legs. So now that I've shown you how to do an L-sit hold hanging on the bar, there's also another method to do an L-sit, and that's just simply on the floor or on a surface. Now in this method, you will use more of your shoulders to keep yourself up, and this will also be very good for the core. So how to do this the proper way? Get on top of the bars or the surface, like this. Go up with your knees and straighten the legs. So that's it for this core exercise. It's really a key component in your calisthenics overall training, so make sure to implement it in your current training routines. So this brings us to the fifth and last exercise of this video, and for that we're going to do pike push-ups. Now this pike push-up is really a shoulder killer and will be a very good foundation to build your way up to the handstand holds. Now let me show you how a good pike push-up should look like. Go down with your hands again shoulder width apart. Now from there on, go in a pike position and straight your legs. Try to move your feet as close as possible to your hands.
put your head between your arms, and from there on, go all the way down with your head to the floor, all the way back up. If you do this the right way, you will feel a lot of pressure in your delts, aka the shoulders.
Now, at the beginning, if you're not flexible enough and you have a lack of mobility, you can put your feet a little bit further away, like this. Maybe bend your legs a bit and just do them like this. The idea of this movement is just putting a lot of pressure on the shoulders. And once you're able to do this exercise at least for 10 times with clean form and you really have strong shoulders, you can move on to the progression, which I personally love, and that's the elevated pike push-up. This exercise really gave me a lot of strength to do some handstand push-ups and even do the 90-degree push-up. So what you're gonna do is the same principle. Place your feet on the surface, go with your legs straight, as close as possible to the hands, with your heads between the arms, and go all the way down, all the way back up. Now make sure you control the movement in the full range of motion. I can guarantee you guys, if you implement this exercise in your current routine, you will get that handstand in no time. So there you have it. Those are 5 of the best all-around calisthenics exercises, in my opinion, that will really give you that fundamental strength that is needed to move to harder bodyweight progressions. Now, if you like this video, then maybe leave a like or consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate any one of you that's been a part of the family already. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.